It's January 13th, 2006. The location is San Isidro, Argentina. The scene looks like a war zone. 300 heavily armed police officers have surrounded the Banco Rio. Inside, the situation is terrifying. 23 hostages are lying face down on the cold marble floor, trembling as masked gunmen wave pistols at their heads. The tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife. One wrong move triggers a massacre. But while the negotiator outside is stressing over the gang leader's bizarre demand for pizza, they're all missing the point. Because the police are staring at the front door, mesmerized by the show. They don't realize that the real action isn't happening in the lobby. It's happening beneath their feet. While the world watches the hostage crisis, a second team is calmly standing inside the vault, stuffing $19 million into duffel bags. The guns upstairs? They are plastic toys. The panic? It's just acting. In exactly 7 minutes, these thieves are going to vanish from a building surrounded by 300 cops. They will leave behind a note that will become legendary. In a neighborhood of rich people, without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love. This is the story of the perfect crime, a heist where the robbers became heroes. But there is one twist nobody saw coming. The only thing that could destroy them wasn't the police, it was a broken heart. How did 6 men fool a nation? And how did the perfect plan fall apart? Rewind to December 2003. Meet Fernando Araujo. He isn't a career criminal. He's a struggling artist sitting in his apartment in Buenos Aires, smoking a joint and staring at old newspaper clippings. He's looking at photos of the tragic Ramallo bank siege of 1999, where a police raid ended in disaster and death on live TV. But Araujo doesn't see tragedy. He sees a gap in the system. He sketches the idea on a napkin. The core question was, how do you rob a bank that is surrounded without shooting your way out? The answer? You use magic. He needs a partner who can build the impossible. He calls Sebastian Garcia Bolster. Bolster is a mechanic, an engineer without a degree whose hands are scarred from welding. Like many Argentines, Bolster carried a grudge. In the 2001 economic collapse, the banks froze citizens' savings. Bolster's family lost 80,000 pesos overnight. So when Araujo pitches the idea of robbing Banco Rio, Bolster doesn't laugh. He just asks, how? Araujo lays out the blueprints. Banco Rio is unique. It sits directly above the massive storm drains that empty into the Rio de la Plata. The plan is a masterpiece of misdirection. Team A will storm the front door and stage a fake hostage crisis. Pure theater to keep the police paralyzed. Meanwhile, Team B will enter through the sewers, drill through the floor, and empty the vault from below. No violence, no blood. The target was chosen carefully. Arasuso is a wealthy district. After the banking crash, rich people stopped trusting banks with cash. Instead, they filled physical safe deposit boxes with gold, diamonds, and untraceable assets. Stealing cash from a teller is dangerous because of serial numbers, but stealing diamonds from a private box, that's untraceable. But the engineering challenge was a nightmare. Bolster had to create a tunnel running 150 meters through active sewage pipes and then break through 2 feet of reinforced concrete, all without making a sound that the bank's seismic sensors would pick up. To make this work, Araujo scripted the heist like a Hollywood movie. Every scream, every police negotiation, every minute of the hostage drama was calculated to buy time for the drillers downstairs. They calculated they needed exactly 2 hours and 7 minutes. 1 minute less, they fail. 1 minute more, they get caught. Chapter 3. Assembling the Cast. By 2004, they needed a crew. You can't pull off a theatrical heist without actors. Enter Beto de la Torre, a veteran bank robber who had hit 17 banks in the 80s. He knew the tactical side. When Araujo told him the plan, $20 million, toy guns, zero violence, Beto was in. But he brought his own man, Luis Mario Vitet, known as the Uruguayan. Vitet was the missing link, a charmer, a master of psychology. He had once held hostages for 6 hours without firing a shot. Vitet became the face of the heist. He studied Araujo's script and refined it. He knew that for the toy guns to work, the fear had to be real. The hostages had to believe they were in danger, or the police wouldn't buy it. Then came the Doc, Alberto Solis, for surveillance. For months, Doc watched the bank. He knew when the manager smoked, when the guards changed shifts. He found the golden window, Friday afternoons between 12:30 and 3:30 p.m. That's when the vault timer was reset for the weekend. Finally, the getaway driver, Julian Zalo Echeverria. He mapped 17 different escape routes through the city's drainage system. He would be waiting at a manhole cover 3 blocks away, engine running. While the actors rehearsed lines, Bolster was living in hell. In September 2005, he began digging. The storm drains were filled with toxic fumes, rats, and darkness. He had to build a dam to hold back sewage water and use a special silent pneumatic hammer to chip away at the concrete ceiling. It was agonizingly slow. He could only work in 10-second bursts to avoid vibrations setting off alarms upstairs. At one point, the water rose, forcing him to haul in heavy pumps. Another time, methane levels spiked, nearly killing him. But by December 20th, he broke through. He drilled a small pilot hole and saw the tiles of the bank vault. He covered the hole, sealed it with weak cement, and left. The trap was set. The team held a final dress rehearsal. Araujo made them memorize the script. Vitet practiced his man-in-the-gray suit character. They even agreed on the ultimate rule. If anyone gets hurt, hostage, or police, they abort. This only works if there is no blood. January 13th, 2006. The day arrives. It's a scorching 87 degrees, hot enough that the police outside would be sluggish and reluctant to wear heavy body armor. 12:28 p.m., Bolster and his team enter the sewers. They break the seal and enter the vault from below. 12:31 p.m., Vitet and the upstairs crew walk into the bank lobby dressed as businessmen. In seconds, the illusion begins. Vitet pulls out a replica gun. Nobody move, this is a robbery. They secure the bank in 90 seconds. Within minutes, the police surround the building. The media arrives. The stage is lit. Vitet gets on the phone with the negotiator. He plays the role of Walter, a confused, desperate robber. He apologizes. He sounds nervous. He releases a hostage to show goodwill. The police think, these guys are amateurs, we can wait them out. They were wrong. While Vitet chats with the cops, the vault downstairs is being demolished. Bolster's team is smashing open safety deposit boxes at lightning speed. Box 73 explodes with euros. Box 156 has bonds worth millions. They ignore the papers. They take only the gold, the cash, and the jewels. Then comes the masterstroke. 2:47 p.m. Vitet demands pizza. The police laugh. Pizza in the middle of a siege? It confirms their bias that these guys are idiots. But the pizza demand was a tactical delay. It forces the police to get approvals, find a delivery guy, and check the boxes. It buys the downstairs team 20 precious minutes. 3:27 p.m. The vault is empty. They have $19 million in the bags. Bolster checks his watch. It's time. They tape the famous note to the wall. Vitet tells the police, "Give us 5 minutes, we are surrendering." It's the final lie. He takes the hostages to the basement, locks them in a room, and tells them to wait. Then, the upstairs crew drops down the hole into the tunnel. They load the money onto inflatable rafts and paddle away through the underground river. 3 blocks away, Zalo is waiting at the manhole. They pop out, throw the bags in the van, and drive off into traffic. Back at the bank, the police wait. And wait. 7:45 p.m. The SWAT team finally storms in. They expect a firefight. Instead, they find nothing. They find the hostages unharmed. They find the pizza boxes. They find the toy guns laid out neatly on the floor. But the robbers? Gone. When detectives finally enter the vault and see the hole in the floor, they realize the magnitude of what happened. One detective whispers, "They played us." The escape broke the internet before the internet was what it is today. Argentina fell in love with them. People saw it as poetic justice against the banks that had ruined the economy. The heist of the century. Graffiti appeared. Robbers 6, police 0. For weeks, the police had nothing. No DNA, the gang poured bleach everywhere. No fingerprints. They chased 1,400 dead-end leads. The perfect crime had succeeded. But there was a loose end. Beto de la Torre. Beto had a wife, Alicia de Tullio, and Beto made a fatal mistake. He was planning to run away to Paraguay with a younger mistress named Claudia. Alicia found out. She found the plane tickets. She found the text messages. And most importantly, she found the bags of money Beto had hidden in their house. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Alicia didn't go to a lawyer, she went to the police. She told them everything. She gave them names: Beto, Vitet, Doc. She told them about the meetings in her kitchen. It wasn't CSI forensics that caught them. It was a domestic dispute. In March 2006, the raids began. Police caught Beto sleeping next to a stack of cash. They picked up Vitet, Doc, Araujo, and Bolster one by one. But here is where the story gets even crazier. The trial wasn't a punishment, it was a victory lap. The public was on their side. Lawyers offered to defend them for free. In court, Araujo acted like an artist explaining his performance. Bolster explained the engineering like a professor. Since they used toy guns, the sentencing was lenient. They hadn't technically committed armed robbery with a deadly weapon. They got sentences ranging from 9 to 15 years. Today, they are all free men. Araujo wrote a book and a movie. They are celebrities. But the biggest mystery remains: the money. Police only recovered about $1 million from Beto's house. The other 18 million never found. Did they spend it? Is it buried somewhere? Or did they invest it to be waiting for them when they got out? In the end, Araujo was right. It wasn't a robbery. It was a work of art. They proved it with enough planning. You can fool the world with a pizza and a water gun.